Another rant. So, the odds of you as a poor bastard of a guy in a Western country, Canada, United States, Australia, etc., all you poor bastards in Australia, Canada, oh, you're all fucked. The odds of you finding a feminine, docile, sweet, soft, nice smelling woman that takes care of herself, that looks good for you, that loves you, that appreciates you, that likes to support you, give you good sex all the time, is basically zero. Basically zero. I mean, think about it. They are raised, born and bred from day one, from birth, to think that, to basically hate men. They're taught that we oppress them. Funny how, we pay for everything on the date. Vacations, bottle service, going out to eat at nice restaurants, paying their fucking rent, but yet we're somehow oppressing them while at the same time paying for everything. They're taught that we make more money than them, that 1 in 5 girls that goes to a college campus is raped. That's my favorite one. I want to talk to the parents, right? Some very liberal feminist mom about that and say, okay, cool. So this is a true statistic, right? So you must be worried about, your daughter then. Oh yeah, it's horrible and this is definitely true. So okay, you can't have it both ways, bitch. Talking to the mom of this daughter who sends her daughter to a university in America. Either you know that this statistic is just bullshit and you're just perpetuating hate, or you're a terrible person for sending your daughter to college where she has a 1 in 5 chance of getting raped. But anyway, I digress. I've talked about this on previous videos. The number one skill or thing you can do as a man to increase your odds of getting love, sex, romance, connection, etc. with a woman. It's not going to the gym, getting a sick body. It's not making more money. It's not even increasing your status or your game. It's learning a foreign language. You may be thinking, okay, well, what the fuck does a foreign language have to do? Well, think about it this way, right? Could you find, hypothetically, in 1950s Saudi Arabia, a man who believed in equal rights for women? He just believes that, oh yeah, women should have equal rights to men. They should drive cars, they should vote in elections, etc. Maybe you could. I'm sure they existed. I'm sure there was a handful out of the millions and millions of men in Saudi Arabia in the 1950s. I'm sure there were a couple exceptions, but good luck fucking finding them. They come from a culture. I'm not here to judge it, by the way. Not even going there. But they're coming from a culture where they are just born and bred to think a certain way about the rights that women should have. In America, as we just talked about, women are born and bred to think a certain way. And people don't really have free will. That's an illusion. People don't really have their own personality, their own thoughts, their own feelings. Your thoughts that you think are your own unique thoughts are actually put there by governments, public education system, your parents, and above all, of course, the mainstream media. Right? So you just kind of believe what you're more or less herded, like what the sheep are just, herded to believe. And women are bred to believe that men are basically terrible, they're way better, and they should act more dominant and bitchy. And even if you're fat and short and uninteresting and ugly and broke and a bad person, not nice to people, that you somehow deserve this absolutely top level guy, right? We see it on my good friend's podcast, All Time Fresh and Fit podcast. They'll have these beastly, grotesque women just demanding. It's like that, Jabba the Hutt meme where the girl's saying like, yeah, if you're not 6'4", athletic build, etc., I don't want to waste my time with you. And she looks like Jabba the Hutt. So back to what I was saying. I put out a video, one of my most highly viewed videos ever, about the horrors these days as dating as a gringo in Medellin, Colombia. I wasted the better part of 7 years of my life that I'll never get back in this fucking city. Okay? As I talked about in that video, they do have beautiful women that are educated, speak English, good values, not hoes, not on OnlyFans, and date gringos. Problem is, it's more rare than the fucking chupacabra. If you find that girl that's educated, beautiful, does not do OnlyFans, odds are basically zero she's going to go out with a gringo. The reputation of gringos is so low and so bad. And I must say, I don't want to get too off topic here, but the gringos that come to Medellin, it just attracts the bottom of the barrel in terms of male tourists and well, just men and women. It's the most blue-pilled, simpy, toxic area. You know what it is? A bunch of people that couldn't get pussy from a dead cat in America come to Medellin, get a 6.5 or a 7 that's only with him for his money, and now they think they're hot shit. So, you're a guy. You're in the Western world. You want the fulfillment and happiness of, I don't know, a family, a girlfriend, a wife, multiple wives, polygamy, polyamorous, whatever. Being a fucking Dan Bilzerian type playboy, right? Like I said, you got to learn a foreign language. You got to go to some place where the social conditioning isn't as such, where they're born and bred to hate men. But you go to a city like Medellin, they're not born and bred to hate men here. Absolutely not. They're born and bred to hate gringos. They're born and bred to look for easy ways to make money. What's an easy way a woman could make fast money? That's what they do. Whether it's virtual or in person, the old-fashioned way, those are the type of girls in Medellin that are dating gringos. The good ones ain't going out with you. So, we've acknowledged you ain't going to find it in the West. You got to learn a foreign language. You got to get the fuck out. But you're not going to come to Medellin. So where, Mr. Redbeard? Where do we go? Mr. fucking Whitebeard all of a sudden, too. You want to go to the small towns. So I'm going to start filming only part of my face and leave this area of the screen open. And now, through the magic of editing, I'm going to show a tactic. So I'm going to start, I don't know, let's say a city like Cali, Colombia, right? And you find these small cities that feed in and out of Cali or Bogota, or just find a random small city that no one's ever heard of, right? Armenia, Colombia. You've never fucking heard of it. You can go to one of these cities, maybe Bucaramanga. That might be too big. It might be discovered. My point being is, I'll make an analogy real quick. I'll put the men on blast. This isn't a black pill channel about hating women. I don't hate women. I hate masculine females that are bitches and hate men, sometimes known as by their scientific feminist. Anyway, so you find these smaller cities, and then you can run Instagram ads there. More videos coming about that now, but there's probably resources about that. If you don't, okay, you can just do this, right? From your phone, you got to switch to a business account on your Instagram. Look up how to do that. Go to YouTube and type in how to switch to a business account. And then when you, on any photo now, they have a boost post button. Just boost that post. Just a photo of you, just your best, sexiest photo. Boost that photo of yourself and run it in that city. Again, what we are doing is we are picking a major city on the map, and we're finding these small towns next to it. And then we can Google them, population of, I don't know, blah, 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 fuckboy city, blah, 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 whatever fucking city. You're looking for the cities that have, I don't know, 50,000, 20,000. Any less than that, you're probably not going to get much. You can put your Tinder there. You probably won't find much on Tinder. Run Instagram ads there, and then girls will start liking your photo. Say, hey, I want to boost this photo to people living in this city that are female, that are this age range. Okay? And the girls that like your photo, you message them. You say, what up, girl? Trying to get this D. And you go out with them. But you gotta have game. If you're just a big old loser, a big old feminine puss boy, like most Americans are these days, that shit ain't gonna work for you anyway. But, okay, I was supposed to make an analogy about men. Forgot. Let's get back to it. The same way you can take a shy, loser, bitch-made guy with no confidence, that should have no standards, has done nothing in his life to earn having high standards with women, and you put him into a strip club, like a strip club, like an overseas strip club in, say, Tijuana, Mexico, a strip club, you know what I mean, where you can, you're allowed to touch the art at these particular strip clubs. This guy all of a sudden turns into the pickiest motherfucker. He ain't been laid in 6 years, but you put him and he's got, there's just beautiful naked women everywhere and he can have anyone he wants, and he's all of a sudden turned into the most picky person ever. When given too many options, men and women, everybody, we become terrible people. This is what women turn into in large cities. In almost any big city, there's just too many amazing guys for them to appreciate or take any one of them seriously. Your human brain was meant to deal with a 150-person tribe. No more, no less, about 150 people. Okay? It's not normal. It's not in any way a sane thing to have your Instagram inbox, well, to have an Instagram as it is anyway, but like to receive validation, just men on their knees wanting to give you the world. And I'm not talking about loser men, I'm talking about hunks, rich, young, good-looking hunks. Bro, through one of my businesses, I won't get into why right now, it's for like lead generation purposes, but I won't get into the details. I'm running with female dating profiles. Like I'm operating at the other end of female dating profiles. Like I'll put like a pretty hot girl. I wouldn't say like pretty beautiful, like an 8 out of 10, like a pretty gorgeous girl, right? An 8 out of 10 is pretty gorgeous. On Bumble, Hinge, etc. It's just retarded. It's just 26-year-old heart surgeons with family money that are 6'4" and good looking, just throwing themselves at you. A girl should meet a guy like that once in a lifetime. She should thank her lucky stars she was able to get attention from a guy like that, and she should not be constantly comparing him to the other shiny objects in the room. But women in big cities, they have too many options, and the same way that men become terrible people in a strip club because they have too many options, women become terrible people in big cities. So what I would do as a guy who's looking for love, romance, sex, like I said, number one, learn a foreign language. I would say Spanish, Portuguese are right up there. I don't know anybody wants to learn like Polish, Ukrainian, Russian, whatever. If you're into white chicks, go for it. If you just love white chicks, bro, if you love Japanese, if you like Asian chicks, I would just straight up go to like a remote part of Japan. As a white guy who speaks even somewhat conversationally, kind of sort of, if they talk really slow and don't use slang, Japanese, in a remote part of Japan, do you realize how much these women will worship you? Do you realize how fucking special you will be to these women? Getting flaked on, getting cheated on, getting ghosted after the first date. Oh, I took her out and I was charming, but she still ghosted me. Bro, you're gonna be fucking King Leonidas to them, bro. Bruv. Gonna be King Henry, bruv. So that's what I would do. Not Japan because I'm not into Asian chicks, but shameless plug. My business is outsourcing guys dating apps for the extremely wealthy. So if you're extremely wealthy, you're tired of swiping like a fucking retard on dating apps, let me know. Outsource the entire thing to me. Hand you dates on a silver platter. But anyway, because I have access to all my own account managers for free, because they're my employees. Well, not free, but anyway. My plan is to have them scouting these small cities in Brazil, and I'm going to fly them out. Now, I've gotten laid by top-level women in big cities, and I found girls that love me and appreciate me in big cities. But there's just something different about these small-town girls, right? So especially for you guys that, let's be honest, we kind of know where we stand on the pecking order, right? In terms of height, money, looks, age, right? Game, confidence. Especially if you know, like, hey, I'm not, the greatest prize, whatever. Go to one of these small towns, find a girl that will just worship you, because think about like who she interacts with in her small city, right? Like, think about who she's going to be comparing you to. She comes from a 80,000 person town in the middle of fucking nowhere, Guatemala. Who has she dated? What restaurants has she been? What vacations has she been? What intelligent conversation, worldly conversation has she had? What sense of humor and jokes has she heard? And, big fish in a small pond type thing. Now, one thing that I'm actually not sure of is what to do once you have these girls. Does that mean you have to live in your small town? One thing that can happen is you pluck this girl from her small town, you start dating her, you treat her really well, get her to fall in love with you, and that could be that, right? A woman's first love especially, or, first, love that didn't come from her shitty small town, could just be final in her eyes, right? You could be basically immune to her leaving you, cheating on you, etc. Basically, right? You still got to be a man. You can't be a little fucking hoe. You still got to hold yourself to the same standard as the guy that attracted her in the first place, right? But yeah, you could bring her to a bigger city afterwards, for sure. Just make sure she has good values. Don't let her have a public Instagram. Don't let her have, girls' nights, going out with her friends. Just make sure she's going to be a good woman. She's going to, raise your kids or be at home, whatever. And you should be good. You got to say the principles of game. Come back, check out my old mentor, good friend, and one of my first mentors, RSD Tyler. All his free content got taken down, but buy some of his, I think it's called like Hot Seat or something. Anyway, if you want to learn game, learn it from him. So that's it. I'm going to end this rant now. Just in summary, if you want love, sex, happiness, romance, get the fuck out of the Western world. Learn a foreign language. Go to a small, remote part of some random foreign country, and you'll find women that will look up to you like the god, like the Adonis that you truly are, my son. Rant over. Peace.